Oh, hey, right here. Hey, it's great to see you again. How you feeling? How you doing these days? Oh, good. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad that you made it. My favorite part of them all, the video game store. But we don't have to spend all day here, of course. But I'm really glad that you made it, of course, and it's great that you want to spend time together, I was thinking of treating you, actually. I know, it's kind of pretty wacky of me to be this kind, but I just wanna be good for my friends, So, I'll tell you what, if there's any Nintendo Switch games like the ones right here, anything you wanna buy, just pick it out. Pick out a Nintendo Switch game and I'll pay for it. I was just checking out these ones here. Do you want me to talk a bit about them? If you're interested, maybe that might entice you a bit. But only if you're comfortable with it, of course. We don't have to. We don't have to spend all this time listening to me talk. But only if you're cool with that. Oh, are you sure? Oh, yeah, sure. Yes, I am most comfortable with that, is what I was supposed to say. So, yeah, let's check it out. Well, Splatoon. I tell ya, Splatoon, absolutely fantastic game. I got Splatoon 3 right here. I'd still recommend trying out Splatoon 2, of course. But see, the Splatoon was on the Nintendo Wii U, and even though that console didn't do so great, the game was awesome. It was really groundbreaking, where you play as these squid kids or octo kids. So in other words, inklings and octolings. So they're kind of like teenagers who can turn into squids and octopuses. And they use like ink guns and buckets and giant paintbrushes to paint like the floors and levels. They could turn into a squid or octopus afterwards to swim around in it, to go around even faster and go up walls. But of course you gotta splat the enemy as well. And at the end of each game, then boom, who's covered the most turf with ink? And that's the winner. So that's kind of like the main fundamentals of the Splatoon series. And I gotta say, the characters are really memorable. They're kind of goofy and quirky and cute in their own ways, and the music especially is fantastic. I really wish they had a soundtrack release here in, just outside of just Japan, I get that it gets released online, but still, it's not as fun. It's not as fun as just being able to have the physical soundtrack by, all these in-game bands, like the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook. In Splatoon 3, the main band is called Deep Cut, and it's pretty creative. It's kind of like pop, lots of synths, maybe some guitars. If you listen to the live versions. Which also sound amazing, and they've also got multiplayer modes, which are pretty clever, actually. Pretty clever. They get better with each game. Story modes get better. There's also like wave modes, where you can work together to fight like incoming little grubby fish, and you gotta collect these golden eggs from them. But it gets really crazy online. Like, the more you play it, the more difficult it gets. It gets wacky. And you can also, deck out, outfits to wear for bonus abilities. And in the third game, you can even play card games as well, which is great fun. So, yeah, Splatoon 3 is amazing. Splatoon 2 is amazing as well. But if you're gonna try out the games for the first time, I recommend Splatoon 2. But yeah, like I say, definitely recommend number 3 as well. Let's see what else there is. Let's see. Oh yeah. WarioWare, get it together. This is from the WarioWare series, so it features Mario's main rival Wario, dressed in his cool biker outfit. He's he's a treasure hunter, and he's got all these like gross out jokes that he always loves, like nose picking and stuff. Do you want to know more about it? Yeah, sure. So this is a game that you can play like locally with anyone. So this is a great party game. You get thrown these micro games, as they're called. So they're like bite-sized, kind of like mini games that last for about 5 to 10 seconds. And what you gotta do is you can play as like many characters. Like Wario, he's got a jetpack. He can fly around stages and shoulder bash left and right. Or maybe you might want to play as you might get Orbulon, the alien. He can fly around in a UFO and use his tractor beam to collect things or drop stuff. And there's Mona. She's always flying around in her little electric scooter. She can stop to throw a boomerang that she can pull right back to her. So you can like play inside the micro games instead of just pressing buttons to win. You gotta control these characters to do things like climb into a rocket that's supposed to fly into space, pass through hoops, break out of garbage bags, dodge like closing teeth in a person's mouth, set a clock, pick noses. There's always picking noses. Put out fires. There's all sorts of stuff that it just throws at you, and it gets faster and faster, and eventually more difficult. And it has that kind of like really unpredictable kind of approach to it, because it's all randomized. Different stages are randomized, and you can get ones that mix up characters, and you also get like some proper mini games to see how long you can last against other characters and with other players and stuff like that. It's a pretty short game, but it has a lot of replayability. A lot that's really great fun, especially if you like trying to push for high scores and stuff like that. So, like I say, great party game. Really would recommend that. Got another one here. Do you want to hear about it? It's a side scroller. Yeah, sure. Wallachia, Reign of Dracula. This is one of those games that you would probably enjoy if you enjoy like challenging 80s or 90s side-scrollers. It's got a great soundtrack, really colorful, detailed visuals. Well, basically, you play as a lady called Floaria, and you've got to go and defeat an evil tyrant, and you're gonna like use items and leap around to dodge traps and little segments where you can like climb onto a little cart and enemies stop dropping in. You gotta attack them, and it's a fair bit of platforming and guessing how to approach boss battles, because they have different kind of like a handful of different attacks that they swing at you. So you gotta like memorize those and well, just kind of overcome those. And there's also some pretty, actually more than just pretty, just really challenging little mini games as well, to really kind of get your blood boiling. From what I've heard, it's not too long, but the fact that it's really difficult, that's definitely gonna like eat up your time. Again, this is one for anyone who's feeling nostalgic and is really like enjoys the adrenaline rush that comes with playing difficult games that are just like the kind of stuff that people played in the 80s or 90s on their Super Nintendos and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a bit of a blast to the past sort of side-scroller. Again, not bad, not my cup of tea, but not bad. You might get a bit of a kick out of it if that's your kind of thing. I don't know. Here we go. Oh, this is a no-brainer. Surely you've heard of Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And it's got 48 tracks. All sorts of characters from all the Mario games. The Mario Brothers and Peach and Bowser Jr. There's some really weird characters, like who cares about Pink, Gold Peach, and Silver Mario? Those are terrible. But on the plus side, it includes new racers like the Inklings from Splatoon. And King Boo, he's always a character that makes me smile. And new courses thrown into the mix, like especially for multiplayer. Online multiplayer playing this is great fun. There's multiple modes you can try out, and you can play like competitively or in teams, like throwing items at each other to knock other items out of people, or to steal their balloons or steal their coins and stuff like that in the online battle modes. Or you can just play the races, of course. The races are always fun online, where you're, again, racing around these really creative tracks, like sliding down pianos and dodging rollers and defying gravity with, like, zero-gravity walls and boosters, and you can dunk underwater and get boosts from bouncing off each other when you're kind of, like, zipping along. And then there's, of course, there's Rainbow Road, the really tough level that has you shooting off into space and climbing all sorts of dangerous obstacles that could send you plummeting into the earth. Of course, you get plucked out and back into the race, but like I say, I can't recommend Mario Kart 8 enough if you've not tried it yet. And there's also a lot of DLCs coming out now as well. If you got like the Nintendo Switch, kind of like what they call it, the booster starter pack. I don't know, but if you kind of like redeem stuff online and pay a bit extra, you get like loads of bonus maps, which are awesome. Gotta say, they're really cool. You get them from like new levels, and then levels from like Mario Kart World Tour on your mobile phones, and other kind of throwback levels that's been recreated. That's really awesome. Like I say, it's an amazing party game and amazing fun when you're playing single player as well. I can't recommend this enough. Even if you're a beginner, there's a beginner mode to help out if you're struggling to steer and stuff like that. So like I say, definitely recommend this. I would love to play this with you if you decide to choose this. But like I say, let's see what else there is. Let's see what else there is. I really hope that I've not been, like, talking your ear off. I'm not making things worse for you, am I? I just wanna make sure and oh right. Thank you for reassuring me. That's I really appreciate that you're reassuring me when I overthink, and I hope it's not bugging you or anything. But I am really grateful. You're a really awesome person, you know that? You really are. Oh, yeah, sorry. I got this, final game right here. It's called, Project Warlock. This is a first-person shooter. Kind of like Wolfenstein. Have you ever played Wolfenstein? Oh, okay. Well, basically you play as a warlock. And you can use guns or spells. You can upgrade both guns and spells if you get items, and you go through these like maze-like levels. They're quite easy to traverse, so you don't have to run or crouch or anything like that. It's kind of rush in, start blasting, and use whatever weapons that are best for you, and eventually find the exit. Quite a lot of levels, 60 levels in total. Like Antarctic bases, Egypt, hell, and you get all sorts of loot to collect too, and monsters kind of like made upon the walls, and flying bad guys, dudes who kind of jump out of blocks of ice, and there's all sorts of things like secret areas and monster closets, and little piles of loot you could grab, and again you can just blast them away with shotguns, machine guns, rocket launchers, then pair it up with spells that can let you like summon lightning or fling bombs, all sorts of cool stuff like that. So again, it's pretty approachable. Like, you can, of course you get a life system, but if you play in the easiest setting, you don't have to worry about losing all your lives or anything, but if you like kind of like old school shooters that's kind of like got some cool stuff peppered on top, then you'll definitely like this one. I think this is a really cool game, and I really love the kind of glittery synthy soundtrack and the art style with the very thick outlines on bad guys and guns and stuff. So, you know, it's kind of like 2.5 dimensional, like the surroundings are 3D, but the weapons and the items and the enemies, those are 2D, but they're really well animated. Really smooth animations too, so it's one player, but really cool game. I gotta say, it's a very cool game if you ever decide to get this one. You know, it'd take about a handful of hours to beat anyway, so well worth it. Definitely worth it. Well, guess that's all the games that stuck out of me. Of course, there's many others here, but you know, I'm not putting any pressure on you to buy anything. I'll just put those back. There we go. There's no pressure to buy any of those specifically. Like I say, there are any of these games right here. Any that catch your eye? Anything else, or? Oh, you want this one? Yeah, sure. Absolutely fine by me. Well, tell you what. You just hang tight here. I'll go buy this for you. I'm just gonna chat to the guy behind the desk as well. I just want to ask something about some things. But yeah, like I say, I'll be back in just a moment. You just hang tight, okay? Hey, and before I walk over, thanks for coming out. I know I'm pretty nervous, and I guess it might be a little embarrassing to be around me, but I don't really have a lot of in real life friends, but you're really special. I really appreciate that you're so patient with me and reassuring, and you're a great listener too. You really are amazing. Am I blushing? I'll go buy the game. I'll go buy the game. Like I say, hang tight, and if you come up with any ideas when you want to go to next, then let me know. We'll make a day out of all of this if you want. Whatever you want to do, I'm happy with it. Okay, well, I'll be back soon then, okay? All